Right, so I'm just going to put this out there. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not a good idea or what. I don't, I think it makes sense in my head to do it. And I think that's kind of where I'm just going to have to leave that one. But basically, if any of you guys want to kind of do this stuff, then as I'm putting in the lights, I've already installed lights in the car, kind of the RGB lights in the car, and I've got underglow as well to go on at some point, which I'm probably not going to do that until after I fit the body kit to the car, because I'm going to have side skirts going on. So I want to get all that kind of done before I decide like where the lights are going to go, or we'll be able to kind of see where they're going to go, the best place to put them and all that kind of thing is. But in the meantime, I'm making these little switches. So basically what these are going to do is these are going to go and sit in my center console, probably near the 12-volt power supply. And what I'm going to do is I'm now wiring these up. And as you can see, this one I've kind of made up to solder like on here already for a better connection. But then I've attached them to these plugs. So these are waterproof, and they'd be good if they were going in the engine bay, but they'll also be good on the inside of the car, just for a point where you can disconnect quite easily, and then you can remove like this whole bit kind of quite easily if you needed to. Plus also if the lights sort of wear out and they fail at any point, it's easier then to just kind of disconnect, pull it all out. Where they get attached to this end, it'll basically be sort of able. I'll make it so you can sort of disconnect it easy enough. But it just saves a lot of hassle with these. Now this might be like more complicated than it has to be, but I think it'll be all right. I think it won't. I don't think it is that complicated. I just think it should be all right. In my opinion. I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not like some of those who professes to do a lot of electronics or anything else like that. But I've sat there giving this a lot of thought and kind of allowed to do different things and that. It's my first kind of project doing a car up, really. I've really not had the money or the means in life previous, so I'm kind of having a bit of fun. Hope it turns out all right. So basically that's why this is now like how this is. So I just want to explain this kind of thing to you. It is basically a two-pronged rocker switch, on and off. I've still kind of find out like what this is. So in my mind, I think the plus is the power, so the 12-volt supply, and the A is the appliance. That's what I'm running with. That's what kind of makes sense in my head. So that's power. I take it now the switch is basically on, and now I take it that'll be off. So that's kind of like how I'm looking at it, how I think about it. I don't know. I'll have to look it up just to make sure that's confirmed. But basically then the appliance then comes down here. So it doesn't really matter. Like, so that'll be your live feed in. That's your 12-volt feed in, and this will be your power for the appliance. So these will be like your powers for the lights. And then what I'll have to do is where the ground supply for the lights is run up direct to the ground for the car, wherever the car battery and that is. I've got to make like 3 of these up. There's the inside lights, inside l.e.d. RGB lights. I want the main underglow, and also the dash cam and all that hardwired into the car, which also then leaves me like the 12-volt socket free, which then I can use that to basically have a little adapter in for the USB ports to basically, you know, people to charge their phones and everything else on. This car's going to be comfortable as it can. It's still going to be a passenger car. I don't have any aims to turn it into a race car, or just make it a little bit more, just try and make it a little bit better for what it is. And make some improvements, but yeah, that's kind of like why I'm doing this, and I just wanted to kind of make this little video just to kind of explain it to anyone who's now like thinking of doing bits like this in the car. Then that'll be, you know, hopefully something kind of explained to you. So yeah, 2-prong rocker switches. You do get different kinds, 3-pronged and all that kind of stuff. Just means one's got either an extra appliance that you can do, 2 appliances at once, or you know, you've got a ground and stuff like that. So it's not anything really complicated. But I kind of did a dry run, and I kind of looked at it and I thought, no, that's not really going to work. Kind of didn't really. Just trying to figure it all out. And so then it sort of watched another video, just kind of a basic setup. It makes sense. So live to from the power, and live to the appliance, and then the ground of the appliance goes to the ground of the car. It doesn't go to the switch. So that's just basically how you make that circuit. The other thing, like I just explained, that will make this a little bit kind of easier to install, is at some point what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a separate fuse box, just a little fuse box. I'll find the perfect place in the car to put it, and then what I'm going to do is these are going to be wired into that fuse box, and the fuse box is going to run straight to the battery, direct to the battery. So that way you've always got like a fuse between you and the appliance and everything else like that. And also it gives you like, so what that'll do in the future, should I decide to add anything extra, or should you want to have any other additions and you don't really want to use up any other sockets in the car and you want to hardwire it in, you've got somewhere to do that, which will be an easier kind of place to wire in extra things. So I think the fuse box, I think I can have something like 12 ports, or was it 12 or 8? It's something like that, or even 10. Do you know what I mean? I think you get different ones as well, different sizes, different numbers of ports that you can have on there, but you literally just run it off the battery, and then you can run everything off on those things. So they basically got like little screw down tabs, so you just basically split your wire like this, trim your wire up, get rid of the insulation, wrap around a screw, tighten it up, and that's into the fuse box. Live to live, negative to negative, and your fuse in the middle that separates them, and that's basically as simple as that. They run in they run in a parallel. So yeah, it's not that difficult to install it. It's just finding the right place to install it, then, you know, just fixing it in. I've got all the bits and pieces to do that, and then just make these switches up. I think my biggest my biggest fear is cutting a hole in the center console. So 3 holes in the center console, which I've got to make up like a template. I did kind of make up a template as a start. It was kind of like a template for the template. So it was like basically trying to get everything in line. Then I can get something quite solid in line that I can fit where I want the switches to go. Then I can mark them out and drill out the plastic, and then hopefully these will just fit in, and I'll be able to run the wires through and underneath. I think from what I've looked at, there's quite enough room on there. Just, you know, there's a Corsa there, which is what they're going in, and you know, it's at stage 1. You know, this is just those little things to get prepared for next year to get it all done. So yeah, you know, hopefully this will all turn out well. I've got another 2 to make, and then I'll have to get some other bits and pieces, but yeah, hopefully it'll all turn out well. I know it will. You know, I've been looking forward to seeing the finished product in my, like from my head in reality. So I can see it. I'm quite chuffed with it already. I thought, yeah, pretty good. So, you know, so many inspiration videos from like Matt Armstrong and Tavarish and the other stuff as well. Great channels, guys. And you know, it's just like giving me the confidence as well to just go out and just get on with it, have a go with it. You know I can use tools and you know, can get my head around those things, and quite a practical person. So you know, it's a bit of fun, and if I could do it as a mainstream, I would. I would definitely like to do up cars and everything else as a mainstream job. But you know, I've got a plan for going back to college next year, just to basically get on paper that is proof that I know what I'm talking about and I can do the job. So basically, bring the theory into the practical skills. But thanks to YouTube and all the videos and all the information there is out there, when I come to thinking, oh, could I do that, I will go and research it, and the research materials there available. So you know, Gore College does going to be some paperwork to back up that you know what I know, and the materials are there that when I come to do something, it might make sense to me in my head, but you know, it gives you that extra kind of backup that you can go, yeah, you know, it kind of reinforces like your own knowledge base about something. You know, because not everything is as clear cut. But yeah, guys, you know, I just be encouraged, and you can do it. Really, you can do it well. And just there's nothing stopping you doing anything you want to do. Yes, there are certain cost increases, but it's not as much as you think. I've got a nice quote of the insurance for the mods on the car. It's not as bad as you think. Yes, it is. It's almost double what I'm paying at the moment. But by the time I come to renew my insurance next year anyway, I'm going to be paying 500 a year. It's almost double that, but it covers everything. It's not that bad over the year. It's just about getting the right income to be able to support it and everything else. But yeah, guys, you know, do it. You know, just and if you get stuck, YouTube will help. And then when you know that there are certain jobs you're going to come to on a car, get somebody else to help you. And just another pair of hands is always good. All right.